All right, partsbreakers.com. I'm going to do a pre-dismantle. This is what I mean by pre-dismantle, meaning that it's fairly complete, still pretty much together. We do a little bit of a discount when you put a deposit, lock them in, and I'll explain it more over the phone. But basically, if it's a free tub like those guys are down there, then it's obviously the price is set, is what it is. But something like this, we do our best job of going through it and kind of getting a price in mind. And then if we get it apart and it comes back, you know, there's something else on it, whether that be better or for worse. If it's worse, we'll adjust the price down and make sure the buyer is okay with it, and give them a discount, obviously, on what we did not see in the beginning. Otherwise, if it's better, and that's where the locked-in price comes from, if it's better than we originally were thinking it was going to be, you're still locked in at the price we do it at. So, and we save you $150 because of that, because of, you know, taking that. It's really not a risk on your part. It's just kind of a way that we have money down on something, so it allows our cash flow to work a little better out here. We've done it for like that for years. So anyway, without further ado, this qualifies in that sense. I already have a buyer possibly lined up on it. Again, he'll give me the initial approval. We'll get a deposit, and then we'll fully strip it down, and then get another video when we're all said and done. So without further ado, real quick, we talked a little bit about the dash and the harness on this guy. So this is a little bit more. I forgot they had pulled some stuff on this guy already. So it's, the harness is still intact inside of it, but the dash is already come out, which is one of those areas that we usually don't see until we've gotten it down. So this is no rust. It's got a little bit of leached from the discoloration on the dash itself, but this is all nice and smooth paint. So no rust up here. This area loves to rot out, so that's nice seeing that. We didn't know that here a week or so ago. This one came from Colorado, so it's a Western U.S. Jeep, which means that's a good thing. We don't use salt on the roads out here. And it had a hard top and doors, which is also a good thing. It keeps the moisture out of them. Now, it was on a farm, so it's got a lot of dirt in it. It needs to be cleaned. But the floors, as you can see, that's nice, nice floors. So there's no rust in them. You know, whatnot. So one of the areas we won't see until we pull, and this is, again, pre-dismantle thing, is the roll bar. And that's an area that can be suspect on a lot of Jeeps, specifically Jeeps in the Midwest, East Coast, where the pads are down here. They like to rust out on those areas. So, so if that were to happen, we would, again, let the buyer know. And if it comes back that they don't want to mess with that, then we go into a different tub if we have one available. And if it's something they don't mind messing with, then we would adjust the price accordingly. Now, I don't think this one's going to have a problem with that, but it's just, again, one of those areas I do like to point out. I pointed out a lot of this stuff, and I repetitively do it, partly because a lot of people watch these videos to kind of get an idea when they're looking for a Jeep to buy. And these videos, I feel like, help. We've been told that over the years. We've been doing this for, I keep saying 15, it's going on 20 years now. Rust-free parts. So, and this is an area behind here. Now, you can't see this oftentimes, so the areas you can usually take a look at are in this area here. And again, this is nice and clean. But if you look in here now, oftentimes there's a liner in here, okay? We sell those liners and they go quick, so this one's been pulled already. But if you're looking at a Jeep, there's a couple fasteners. You can see a bolt here. You can, if the seller will let you, you should pull this back and just take a look. And if this is rotted out, it doesn't mean end of the day thing, but definitely going to be a repair patch. And again, in this case, this is a nice and clean one, so we're good to go here. And if the liners are pulled, it's really nice to see. This one's got a little bit of oxidized metal just for where paint's rubbed off, but no rot or anything in here. The seams are all good, and up through here, nice and clean. So that's an area that loves to hide rust on it. Okay, so that pretty much does it for that thing. I'll show you the other side, and then I'll go over the kind of the dings on this guy, because it does have a few dings, and that's where we've priced it at. Goofy things on it, 2 bolts here. Want to patch those, or if you're putting up some sort of slider, rock slider, that will cover that up. But I don't know what they had there. It's hard to say, but there are 2 holes, or you could leave the bolts if you wanted to. Doesn't hurt anything, but definitely not aesthetic. No hail damage. Okay, nice clean cowl. A couple screws sitting up top there, but you can see that there. Okay, scratches. And then, okay, so you got 1 ding here, And this is kind of where we get our B's from, right? So we're talking some body work, but no major rust, or no rust in general. And we're talking rust meaning rot, okay? And then we're talking if there is body work, or if there's bolts that are broken, or yada, 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 it's minimal. It's not gonna take a ton of work. So here's our first ding, and you can kind of see it here, although this is a little deceiving because this flare is pulled out here. Looks like maybe there's a rock or something wedged in here. So this flare will come off. This is, again, something and after, when we get it finally dismantled fully, that will come off. And if there's something bigger hidden in there, then clearly we will address it then. So same with the flare there. These do like to rust. They start getting a little bit of surface in this area here. It's very common, even in Southwest Jeeps, to see. And I think in this one, you can kind of see a little bit here. So that's got, again, one of the reasons we're priced where we are in this guy versus like a grade A. You know, and prices change, so I don't like to put them in the video. They do change drastically, especially as harder these have gotten. These have gone up. And we're going into our winter season, which is our project season. That's our more expensive time of year. It's better to lock them in now. Okay, you got another little where it's kind of separated here. Again, we'll have to pull this flare and actually see. But sticking my hand up in here, there's no rust or anything. This has got a good ding here. You want to pull this, body shop, or you yourself, depending on who's doing the work. And then we got a small, actually it's not really a ding, just kind of a chip in the paint there. Tailgates aren't included, it's just the tub, right? So this will be completely dismantled. Tailgate will be removed. Tail lights, flares, hard top, all that stuff's going to come off. It's going to be a bare tub, unless we've talked about something that you want in it. So bottom of the rocker, your tailgate, another area here. Okay, that's nice and clean on this one. It's got a couple paint chips. Starting to get a little bit of surface bubbling here. And until we get this pulled, we won't know the extent of it. It's kind of hard to, this is a boxing area. So another area that's kind of common, not terrible, about the size of maybe half my palm. But something you'll want to get out of here. And this looks to be just surface, so I'd grind this down to pretty much bare metal. Probably want to use a little filler here. I don't think it requires a patch panel. It kind of depends on what your style is. But that's that guy. And then coming around, same thing on this side. It's a little pulled here. I don't think there's a dent here. There could be. Kind of there. So kind of funny. They made a went between tree. Who knows what they did with this thing, but still, I mean, it's a quality tub for the price you're paying on these guys. So that pretty much does it as far as that goes. So fenders, grill, hood, you know, drivetrain components, those are all, we can build packages for that stuff. So, and I'll have to get this, when we get a final video, we'll get it up in the air and show you. But the first thing is, okay, we've removed these. This is another area I like to pull before we do any kind of pricing, because a lot of times they'll break. And we got nice clean bolt holes that these all pulled out nice and clean all the way back here. Okay. I think the two rear ones did break on this guy. Of course, my back is sore today, so it's a little hard to get up and down. But so, and this area is not too hard to pull, but this is common to see. Oh, this one's okay. Thought that one might be broke there, but it's not. So that one's good. So this one, oh, they all pulled. For some reason I thought we had a couple, so maybe I was wrong. See, this is, again, when you get something that you think is worse than it is on some of the bolts. Those are all broke free and look all good there. And that one looks like it's got a little bit of wear coming in that torque pocket here, and a little bit up through here too. You can kind of see this torque pocket is used for the step, which is no longer mounted. And more than likely, well, it's hard to say what they did. They might have went up on a rock or something there, but got a little bit of there. But let's pull the driver floor up like we did the other side. So really clean. So let me pull that apart. I shouldn't have come apart. Really clean floorboards, okay? And we expect to find this throughout the whole thing. So nice. You see the paint down in there, okay? Nice clean. And part of it is they put like I said, this was a well protected from the weather, but it was a dirt sponge, and they clearly never owned a vacuum or cared about that. So yeah, that does it. So questions, comments, concerns, any questions you may have about buying Jeep out there, feel free. Shoot us a message, subscribe to our channel. Trying to work towards that too. It's obviously a cool way to make some income these days, but nonetheless, we do this for the buyer in mind in this particular case, and then also our future buyers, it gives us good advertising. So appreciate everything. 303-666-9020, partsbreakers.com. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks a lot.